everyone, my name's Jamie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first video of mine that you're seeing, which is very likely since it's I think only my second video, a little bit about me. I am a knitter, a knitwear designer, and a content creator. My channel is all about knitting, so if that is slightly interesting to you, feel free to stick around and subscribe for more videos coming very soon. So in this video, we're going to be doing a little knit with me, and the project we're going to be working on is the Oopsie Daisy top, which is a test knit that I'm doing for Kara's knit-eng. I've done like literally so many test knits for Kara, but I haven't tested any patterns at all in a while because I've just got back from a few months away in Europe, and while I was away I didn't do any test knits just because I wasn't sure that I could keep up with deadlines. I was a bit limited as well in the amount of yarns that I had access to, and I just didn't want to be in a situation where I let a designer down. So I haven't done any tests for like a few months, and I really missed it, so I just had to jump onto this test knit for Kara. I knew it would be a quick one, but it would kind of scratch that test knitting itch that I feel like I kind of always have. Even though I am a designer and I run my own test knits and design my own patterns, etc., I try to make sure that I'm always testing at least one pattern like at all times, because it really can't be stated enough how important test knitting is for designers and how much you can learn from test knitting other designers' patterns. I've learned so much from Kara and the other designers that I've pattern tested for. I've learned so much from the other testers. I've learned so much from my own testers. The whole process in general is just incredibly insightful, and even though I've released a number of patterns of my own and I feel confident as a designer, I still feel like there's always more that you can learn. There's always more you can understand about the design process from being on the other side of it in terms of being a tester and looking at someone else's pattern from the perspective, from a perspective of someone who didn't write it. So I think that for me, that's just super important, and I just find it really fun. Like, I love test knitting. So this one should work up pretty quickly. I think Kara made it in like a day. I don't know. She did a YouTube video making this top. So I don't know if this is gonna take me all day because I have other things I need to do today, but depending on how addictive this pattern is, we might end up finishing it today. We'll see. It's like the late morning now. What time is it? It's like 11:30 in the morning. So we've got time. So before I start knitting the pattern, I'm going to do a gauge swatch. The pattern calls for a bulky yarn, I'm pretty sure, but I've decided I'm going to use 2 strands of this Qing fiber dashing DK in the shade Spaceship, and I think 1 strand, hopefully this matches gauge, so we might have to play around with it, 1 strand of Melted Baby Suri by Qing Fiber as well, because I have some scraps. I have this, which is a shade Markut, which, as you can see, I used for this top that I'm wearing, this jumper that I'm wearing, that I'm currently in the middle of writing the pattern for, and it does not have a name. But yeah, I had a bunch left over, but not enough, I think, to do the whole top in this strand. So I think I'm going to alternate between this one and this one. This is the shade Stun, I think. So I think I'm going to alternate between these two like every row, I think, because the yarn is variegated. That shouldn't be a problem. I don't think it will look weird. So I'm hoping that between these two I have enough. And then for the petals, I think this will be my little, what's the word? Like the inside of the petal color. I think I'll have to hold 2 strands of this, and then I'll do the petals in this beautiful pink. I think that like this will look really cute. These are both Hobby Diviner. I think I'm gonna have to use 2 strands of these, but it's fine because I have plenty. So let me do my gauge swatch first, just to make sure that all of this is gonna actually work, because I am kind of putting together some funky combinations, so who knows, but we will see. Okay, so I've finished my gauge swatch. It is perfect. My gauge is on point, which we love. I never cast my gauge swatches off because I just like to unravel them and then use the yarn for the actual project, because we are not wasting yarn over here. We have a scarce amount, especially of these. So yeah, I think I'm ready to cast on. This is going to work up so fast. I have a bit of a love affair with 8mm needles, and I feel like it's been a while since I've used them because I was using a lot of smaller needles while I was away. So I think, yeah, this is going to be a fun one. And the yarns are all just so soft because chink fiber, obviously, and I just think this is going to be a good one. Okay, apologize, I've got my laptop in front of me just reading the pattern from here. So I need to cast on a bunch of stitches. So this is worked top down, so I'm pretty interested to see how this works with the top down tank. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea if I have enough of a tail for the amount of stitches that I'm casting on, but we will see. I honestly am very rarely wrong, so I think I'll be all right. And I also just like never count stitches while I'm casting on because I always lose count. So I usually just cast on a bunch and then I stop every now and then just to count, especially when I have a lot of stitches to cast on. And there have been times where like I stop and then I count and I have the exact amount of stitches, even if it's like I have like over 100 stitches. That happens sometimes. So I don't know, I think I have some kind of like superpower where I have just like a really good sense. As I'm saying this, I'm like, wait, I don't know if I have a long enough tail, so let me just count. Yeah, I definitely won't have a long enough tail, so I just take back everything I just said. I'm gonna give myself a little extra. All right, this should be enough. So let's just pretend that that didn't happen. And this time, hopefully, we'll be more successful. All right, we're just gonna quickly count and see where we're at. I actually cast on too many stitches, so here we are. Overestimating the tail. Whoa, maybe I would have been okay the first time. That is insane. Oh, all right, well, you know, is what it is. So we're gonna join in the round, add a stitch marker. All right, and I guess we are onto the ribbing. I don't mean for this to be a tutorial, especially because it's Kara's. She's not made a tutorial, but she's already made a video doing this, like when she first made the top. But I really think it would be fun to actually document my process of making something, because I never really do that. Like, honestly, I feel like I've been pretty bad, even like with Instagram, at like, I don't know, making reels, like showing my process of knitting something. Oh, it's a little bit difficult to do this first row with so many strands of yarn. Yeah, like I feel like I've been pretty bad lately. I used to be better. I don't know, I have so many projects. I start my projects, like this is really rare that I'm starting my project in broad daylight. Like I feel like I'm normally just, it's late at night and I've just decided I want to cast on, and I just cast on, and like it doesn't look pretty at night when I'm casting on, you know, and then I just forget, and I don't know, I also like work through projects either really quickly or they take me so long that like to document the process would just be really, really hard because I start and stop. Like I have projects that I started so long ago and still haven't finished. So this will be fun because it's a small project and I do have a deadline, which is still about, I think, 10 days away, but yeah, I still have a deadline, which means that I will have to get it done within the next few days, since I do have some other things that I need to work on. And so I think this will be a nice, fun, quick project. Okay, so I have finished the neck trim, and so far I love how it's coming together. I think that these yarns look so pretty, all mixed up. I think the alternating between these two skeins looks very seamless. I don't think it's obvious at all. So fingers crossed I have enough yarn and don't run out, because that would be tragic, but I'm choosing violence today. So now time to start the body. Okay, I've done a lot of knitting off camera because it's taking a little bit of a while, considering I just have so many strands of yarn to deal with right now. It's a bit chaotic, and just working through the charts, it's just a bit easier to do it off camera. But this is where we are currently at. So we're about, yeah, I think we're halfway through the flower. Like I said, this is not, because I'm also alternating strands with the suri. I'm actually getting yarn in my mouth, ew. Yeah, alternating strands with the suri, and then I've got like several little, I think they're called like butterflies. Oh, bubbles? No, I've got several bubbles. I think that's what they're called. Bobbins? Bubble? I'm not sure. Something like that. For the intarsia, this is just it's getting a lot. It's kind of a mix between intarsia and Fair Isle. The floats are definitely there because I'm too lazy to have like several different bobbins. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, we're about halfway through, so we're making progress. I might just do more knitting off camera until I finish the flower, and then I'll film more when it's a little bit more mindless. There's a bit of noise outside. I think there's a gardener or something somewhere outside, so just ignore that if it's a little bit loud. I'm sorry. It's also almost 2 o'clock and I have absolutely no idea where the time went. Like, I've been listening to a podcast, but like I started filming this at like 11:30, so yeah, I don't know where the last 2.5 hours have gone, but this is the progress we have made. I guess I'll hold it the right way around. This is the neckline, so you can see a little bit better. So this is where we're at, and these colors have just come out so much better than I could have imagined. I think just the pink contrasts really well with the pastel green, and it's just giving like, I don't know, pastel green garden. It doesn't make sense at all what I just said, but in my mind it's just really cute, and I don't know, I think I'm gonna wear this a lot. I'm really excited to finish it. So I finished the flower and I am super hungry, so I'm gonna go find some lunch to eat. I don't think I can keep going without eating something. But yeah, I've now finished the intarsia, so I think the rest of the pattern will probably work up a lot quicker because I'm not going to be dealing with so many different strands of yarn. So yeah, very exciting. We've smashed out the most time consuming and most brain consuming part, and now all that's left is just lots and lots of knits and pearls. I'm gonna go grab some lunch, probably gonna come back to it and maybe film a bit more of my knitting, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish this today. I might have to end up finishing it tomorrow and filming that, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go get something to eat. Okay, I am back. I just left for, I don't know, it's been probably around 2 hours. I went to go and get some acai with a friend. So now I am fueled up and I feel a lot better, but it probably is a bit of different lighting right now, and it's almost 4 o'clock, so there's still a bit of light left in the day, so I'm confident that I can get a lot more of this piece done before I can't really film anymore because it's gonna get dark and I don't want to film without natural light. So yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this for a little while. I've just attached the yarn for the back because yeah, after I finish this, then I'm gonna have to do the back and then connect the two pieces in the round to finish the rest of it. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, this is literally just no intarsia, so I'm really hopeful that this won't take as long. I'm not gonna lie, this part where I like switch over between the two yarns is like really annoying because the suri yarn just gets like so caught up, like twisted around the two strands of DK, so I have to like untwist it every time to then grab the other shade. So yeah, that's been a bit annoying, but other than that, I don't really have any complaints. It's just something that I'm having to just deal with every like second row. Alright, so I think it's been about 40 minutes of knitting, and I have done the same amount for the back piece as the front piece, and I think this probably took me like double the amount of time, which is pretty funny to me. But obviously this is a lot less time consuming and it's knitting up super quick. So it is now time to join in the round for the bottom section of the top. Hi, so it is the next day after I came back from lunch yesterday. I did a little bit more knitting, but I kind of lost my mojo as it started to get darker. I don't know, something about knitting during like the prime daylight for me. Like I love knitting in the morning. It just makes me more motivated, and once the sun starts to set, I kind of feel like the day's ending and I don't know, I just didn't want to be in my room anymore. Today it's a little bit more like gloomy out. Yesterday was a really beautiful day, so I kind of also felt a bit bad like sitting in my room all day, so it was really nice to get out. Yeah, today's a little bit more gloomy, and my first YouTube video is currently uploading. It'll obviously already be out by the time this video goes up, but yeah, I'm kind of just anxiously waiting for it to upload. So I might just do a little bit more knitting in the meantime, because I've made a lot of progress. Like I reckon I should be able to finish this one today, depending on how much time I spend on it. You might notice I'm sitting on my bed. That is because I absolutely cannot stand to sit. I just can't sit on that chair anymore. My current desk chair is incredibly uncomfortable. It's not actually mine, it was my sister's. The one I had before that was my brother's, but he's moved home. He was living overseas, he's now come back home, so I had to give the chair back to him. So then I had to take my sister's chair. I've actually like never had my own desk chair, which is really random. And the chair that I'm currently using is like, it's really cute and pretty and pink and stuff, but it's very, very uncomfortable. It's like wooden, and I don't know, the way that it's oriented is just incredibly like just not ergonomic and makes sitting for hours very difficult. But the good news is, for my birthday, which was last week, I got a new desk chair, my very own one, finally, overdue, but yeah, that needed to be ordered, so it's supposed to be ready for pickup today. So at some point I'm gonna get an email to go to Officeworks and pick it up, and I will be doing that immediately. And then I have to still put it together, so that might be this afternoon or tonight's task. I can't sit on that chair, it's just making me really sore, so we're gonna be on my bed today, which is fine. It makes me feel a little bit lazy and yuck sometimes, so not gonna do this every day obviously, but yeah, I think today we're in that mood. Anyway, I'm gonna keep knitting for a bit. The video only has about 15 minutes left, so I probably won't do that much, but yeah, I'm just like anxiously sitting here staring at the computer waiting for it to upload. So yeah, anyway, we're just gonna keep going. This is honestly kind of like a test, like how much can I knit in 15 minutes? Like it'll be quite interesting to see where I get up to by the time this video is uploaded, and then I quickly divert my attention to the fact that I have a video on YouTube for people to see, which I still can't quite wrap my head around because I don't know. It's really weird to me, even though I'm fully on Instagram, like all the time. Okay, hi. So video uploaded. That was very stressful, but it's up, so I feel like that's a bit of a weight lifted. So update on how I'm going with this project. I did quite a bit before I uploaded the video, then took a bit of a break, and then came back to it. Finished the increases, started knitting a stockinette, and I've just finished the first skein of the DK yarn. So if you're curious, I was using 2 strands of the Dashing DK yarn from Ching Fibre, and I'm knitting the size small, and this is how far one skein got me. So I knew it wasn't going to be enough. Like I have 2 skeins, so I knew I was going to be fine, but yeah, one was definitely not going to be enough. But I think that like for 2 strands, this is pretty good, like considering that, yeah, it's 2 strands of yarn from one skein, and this is how much I got. So like if I put it like, this is where it would sit. I probably want to give it probably similar length to the top I'm wearing, so still a little bit to go. And I'm obviously, yeah, it's fine because I've got another skein. But I still am doing pretty well with these two. I might honestly just, I'm getting a bit worried, especially with this one. There's a little bit less than this one. I didn't actually weigh these before to see how much I had of each, but I was like, surely between the two I've got enough. But so far we're actually okay. This yarn goes so far, I swear to God, like it's just blows my mind every time. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep knitting until I run out of these yarns, because I feel like that will be enough. So I actually haven't caked up my second skein yet because I was lazy, and I was like, yeah, I'll just do it once I get around to it, like once I run out of the first skein. So I'm gonna do that now. Might give you a bit of an insight into my really obscure yarn winding setup. I don't really show this very often. I feel like sometimes I'll show my Swift because I just put it on my bed, but I don't show the actual winder because it's like in my shelf, and it's just like not the prettiest scenario, but why not? I'm gonna try film it. It might be a bit hard because I'm gonna be a bit occupied, but yeah, anyway, so we're gonna wind that up now because I'm just addicted. I can't stop knitting this. It's so pretty to look at. So I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna use this as a sign to take a break. We're gonna use this as a sign to skein up, to cake up this skein. Okay, let's do it. Let's just do it. I'm so lazy. So this is my disassembled skein Swift thing. I actually can't remember the exact name of it, but it's from Thiago, I don't know. I got it from one of my local yarn stores. Not super local for me, but it's in Melbourne. Maker, beautiful store. Definitely want to go back there because I actually haven't been there since like January, which was the last time I went, or the only time I've actually been, because it's quite far for me. But like they have the most beautiful yarn, and I wanted to go to Swift, but the ones at my more local store, like the kind of more traditional Swifts that like you pull out, it was a bit expensive, and I had a look, and this one was quite a bit cheaper. It's super convenient because you can just disassemble it and then reassemble it when you want to use it. I just leave it on my desk in the corner until I want to use it again. There's different like slots for different size skeins, so I find that I like need to adjust those. It varies a lot between the skeins, but it works really well, and I just set it on my bed. I don't even need to like attach it to anything. So I'm going to set it up now. So we pop these together, pop this little thing in, and then what do we do? This like this, and stick it on. And then I can't remember, it's on a bit of an angle. I put it on my bed even though like, yeah, it won't hit my Duna cover. So yeah, I am pretty sure for the DK I had it in the second slot, but I also wound up the Suri at the same, like in the same session, and so I actually can't remember exactly if I'm getting this confused or not, but we'll see. So that's how you put it together, super easy, and then I just spin, spin, spin. I might just make my bed a bit flatter. I could just take my Duna cover off, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. So yeah, that's fine. Okay, so have my skein, pull it out. All right, I think this is right. Oh, actually no, I think it needs to be on the biggest one. So as you can see, this fits quite well, but even then it's still a little bit loose. So if I have one of those, like you can make it whatever size you want. Swifts, that'd probably be better, but this one definitely works fine. All right, so we've just got to do a little snip. And yeah, okay, that was a super easy one to do. I've just got to figure out which strand because they both look like they're on the outside. Oh no, I think it's this one. Okay. I hate it when this gets tangled, but from my memory, this was a really, really nice skein to cake up. Like it was super, it's just like a really soft yarn, so it's just super smooth. Okay, so let me just show you my skein winder. Okay, I'm exposing myself super hard right now. This is my messy shelf. My yarn stash is not the neatest, so I might do a video. Not yet, I'm not quite prepared to do it. I'm not quite mentally prepared to go through it all, but I am going to do a video organizing it all because I also have this that I have to yeah, look, that's really fun. Anyway, so this is my skein winder. It just like clasps onto the shelf. Spin, spin, spin. It spins really nicely. Honestly, it's like a really good skein winder. Like, I've had virtually no issues with it. It's from Linkcraft, which is like a craft department store in Melbourne. I don't go there very often, but they had a skein winder, so yeah, and it was a bit affordable as well. So basically that's here, and then like that's my bed. So I basically just have like the yarn goes from like here to here. I'm exposing my room so much right now. And yeah, it's a pretty good distance, and I just like stand in the middle of the room and hold the yarn. So I'm gonna film myself doing that now so we can just get this thing wound up. Here we go. All right, can we do it? It might need a bit more tension. To go super fast just to get it over and done with, which is not always the smartest idea, but this one is pretty smooth. That was very manageable. All right, she's all caked up, so pretty. Let me like see. Oh, that's better lighting. Oh, I don't want to expose my bedside table, it's so gross. Anyway, time to keep knitting. Okay, so this is the finished piece. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. I think the length is perfect. It's not as tight as I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it's actually probably really good for when it gets a bit warmer, because I'll want to wear this in like late spring, summer vibes, because I use the Suri yarn and it is merino. If it was tight fitting, it might not be the best for summer. So I think this is good. It's got some like breathable and like positive ease, and yeah, it fits really well. I'm happy with the length, and I'm really, really happy with this combination of yarns. I just think it turned out perfectly. Also thought it was very cute to pair with these pink pants because they literally match the petal color like perfectly. And what else do I think about this pattern? I think it's written really, really well. It's super easy to follow. The charts are really simple, and for a test knit, it was super quick. It took me like a couple of hours for 2 days. So like 2 days of knitting, a few hours each day. And what else? Kara's just great. She's an amazing pattern writer. So I highly recommend getting the pattern when it comes out. I don't think it will be out yet when I upload this, but I'll leave the link to her shop in the description so that you can check out the pattern if you're seeing this after it's released. This is how much I have left of the DK yarn. Not very much, so I used probably about maybe even more than 1.5 skeins, which was actually quite surprising considering where I was up to when I finished this. So I think obviously because this section is wider than this, that it like less length used more yarn. So yeah, definitely needed 2 skeins for that. I used up all of the Stun Melted Baby Suri, and I only have this much left of the Markut, but I was happy with the length once I finished the other one. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna stop now. And yeah, I really think that it looked great alternating between the 2 colors, and it like added a lot of interest to the already like beautiful hand-dyed DK yarn. And it's super soft, and I think that the fact that yeah, it's got some wiggle room will be really, really good for summer, but also like I can layer it with like a long white top for like when it's a bit cooler. I think that will look cute too. I don't know, I think there's a lot of possibilities, and yeah, I'm just really happy. I'll also show you the back. You might also notice I haven't weaved in the ends because I'm lazy. There are so many ends to weave in, especially with this intarsia, but I just wanted to try it on like as soon as I cast it off because that's like always my favorite thing to do. But I will weave in the ends and like take photos and everything. I say that I will take photos, I have to, it's just knit very soon. So yeah, that's all. I hope you enjoyed this journey of watching me complete this test knit. This is obviously a very quick one, but perfect one to film. Keep an eye out for more videos. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Lots of things are coming, and I have a lot of ideas and some exciting things are happening. So check out my Instagram and TikTok as well at Jamie_creates. Check out my website, and all my other shop links for my patterns are all in the description. You can check out my last video as well. The first video I made, I talked about everything that I made in Europe, and I have more videos coming very soon. I think that's all I have to say. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!